Where do you live? You live in
I live in Houston, Texas.
Texas, right? I mean, that's
That's a big state.
It is very big.
State.
Yeah, my drive to Funimation is 4.5 hours.
What?
Yeah, and on the map, that's like this in Texas.
Oh,
It's like,
please, good.
like, oh, it looks close.
Yeah.
It's just like all over Highland.
Your commute is 4.5 hours.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
How often do you do the commute?
Weekly. There and back.
Wow.
I go there and then I work and then come back.
A lot of podcasts, a lot of books on tape.
That's Funimation. That is.
No,
Funimation
what I'm saying is
weekly
on your
cycles.
drive.
Oh.
I know.
No,
I was gonna say, how do you pass all that time? 4.5 hours, my goodness.
I just listen to whatever radio station comes in. Usually it's some horrible country.
Oh,
I'm
careful.
gonna be real.
Careful.
No.
Careful.
I like country. I mean, it's horrible country. It's not good country.
It's the
bad.
bad country, yeah.
There is a lot of that out there, you guys. No, I grew up in Texas. I used to rodeo. I
Used to
listened to all
rodeo?
of it. I did. I
Really?
used to rodeo. I used to barrel race and pole bend and rope tie because you can't, rope when you're a kid. Rope horses.
Wow. Did you like grow up on a farm or was it around that all the time? Or?
No, I think it's just prevalent out there. I grew up in Sugar Land, Texas. My parents live in Breno on 150 acres, which is like Chapel Hill, where they make Bluebell ice cream if you've ever eaten
Oh
it.
yeah.
It's the home of Bluebell. It's where my parents live. But yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I like me some country. Some of the new stuff isn't for me.
That's more pop.
Yeah, it's not country anymore.
It's like watered down pop music.
Yeah, it's pop music and you sing it with a twang.
Yeah.
And that's not a song.
With the twang.
But
it's pang.
Yeah. I like some Hank Williams though. I like the old stuff.
Yeah. Johnny Cash.
Yes.
Good
Definitely.
stuff.
Has anybody ever seen Walk Hard?
Oh, yes.
Every time Johnny Cash, I just think of that now.
Oh, man.
If you haven't and you like comedy, you should check that out.
Yeah.
But yes, well, I like to do Q&As because that way, if you guys have any burning questions, then you give me a Q and I'll give you an A.
Oh, so that's a question and answer.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And if not, I'll probably fill the time talking about pizza. So, I hope you guys are hungry.
Well, we're getting pretty close to the start time, so I'm going to go ahead and start. But first I want to, find out basically how you got your start and everything. Of course, you said you grew up in Sugar Land, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And you were a theater major.
Yes, I was a theater major at the University of Houston.
Yeah, did a lot of different plays, musicals.
Musicals were my main gig.
Main gig, huh? What's your favorite musical?
Seussical the Musical.
Oh, that's fun.
I was Gertrude McFuzz, and I actually had a 30-foot tail.
Did you really?
Yeah. I'd be in the dressing room changing into my new outfit, and it would still be breaking in the tail. But I kind of had bad problems, because I made a horrible choice at the very beginning of this. This is something you learn as an actor, that you have to stick with your choices if you make a choice. So I thought it would be great for her to walk like this. And I had a 30-foot tail, and I'm like jumping on ladders and like going from like, okay, in the middle of this belt, we want you to go up the ladder and swing out like this, and then go to the other side of the ladder and swing like that with a 30-foot tail, just in the middle of your belt. So it was in the middle of All For You, if you guys are familiar with that musical. That is a very difficult song to sing. And they made it so long because they were playing it so slow, and 30-foot tail, and I had back problems because I decided to walk like that. Bad choice. Milk was a bad choice. So.
Wow, was it a long run?
It was, I think it was like 3 weeks.
Oh,
yeah.
so you need a chiropractor after that show?
Yeah, luckily I was like 19 at the time, so I think now I wouldn't make it.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I quit.
And you did a Little Shop.
I did.
Who were you in Little Shop?
I was one of the Ronettes
Oh, excellent.
in Little Shop.
Very
I got to sing the Alarm Goes Off at 7 part. That was like super cool for me. That was my second professional show.
Oh, okay.
My first one was A Funny Thing Happened in Whale Form.
Oh, I've done that show.
Australia.
Oh, that's great.
Oh yeah.
That's a great. Little Shop of Horrors, by the way. Sorry, we're like theater geeks here. I want to make sure people know what we're talking about. And then you did Forum, and then Rocky Horror Picture Show, and that's kind of what started everything for you, right?
Yes, I was playing Janet in the Rocky Horror Picture Show, the Rocky Horror Show, not the picture show.
Oh, right.
And then, because the stage version is
That's my
And
bad.
I was, I was Janet, and there was a swing cast, so a lot of people from old school ADV films were in it, and part of it. So there was Monica Rial was Eddie Dr. Scott, and Mariella Ortiz was a bunch of characters in there, and then Greg Ayers and Chris Ayers switched off playing, and Chris Patton switched off playing Frankfurter Riff Raff, and all that, which was kind of cool. So every day we had a new cast. And we had all the call outs, and somebody brought a Girl Scout troop, and we were like, no, you gotta go. You gotta go. She's like, I don't understand. Like, the call outs are awful. You cannot see this.
Did you know their work before you?
I did not even know what anime was.
Rocky, really?
At all.
Wow.
And Matt Greenfield, this was in 2003, I believe, or 4. So it was a long time ago. It was just another cartoon to me. I didn't know it was like a whole genre. You know, I was like, oh, like Ghost Speed Racer? And I'm like, no. So Matt Greenfield, which was one of the founders of ADV Films, came to see it with his wife, Tiffany Grant, who was the lead in Evangelion. And they asked me to come in, and I was like, cool, am I gonna sing? And they're like, no. And I went in, and he was like, well, we're gonna see if you can do this as a career. Scream like you're getting stabbed to death, go! And I did, and he liked it. And it started there.
The rest is history.
Yeah, I did bit parts in Gantz, was the first thing I ever recorded, and that is not a PG show, anyone. Don't go looking it up if you are not an adult. And then after that, I was Rhea Oshima in Detective Loki Ragnarok. It was a really long time ago, when I got to be in Chrono Crusade. These are really old titles, you guys. Y'all weren't even watching anime at this time, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, yeah.
Some of them VHS, I'm sure.
They were the big laser discs.
Oh,
You know those Japanese laser discs that are like huge? You know, they used to cost like $8 million.
Are they that big?
They were big. They were really big. I felt like they were that big. Maybe I was that small. And so like things, you ever like go back to your elementary school and you're like, God, these are short toilets. But when you were a kid, you just thought they were like, they're normal size for me.
So, what was your very first starring role? Was that Gilgamesh?
Fuko wasn't a lead, but she was a starring role. I think my first lead role was Alba in Jinky Extend, which was a mech anime back in the day. But yeah, those shows are pretty old now. I think the biggest one now that I could talk about from back then would be like Yuri and Angel Beats. She's one of those that has held through the years and is still considered relevant and popular. So, but yeah, I started it. I waited on a waiting list for Funimation for 2 years as a working actor. So for anybody trying to get in that door, it was just as hard for me. And my first thing there was either Nina and Save Me Lollipop or Maya My Santa. One of those, because they did them at the same time. But yeah, it's kind of one of those things where one director says, I need somebody new for this role, I'm using all the same people, and I'm like, well, why don't you try this person then? And that's kind of how that worked out.
Yeah. Did you do stuff for ADV at the same time? Or?
Yes. And then when ADV went out of business, now I work for Sentai and Funimation and Overtron and Sound Cadence and Kocho Studios. There's so many studios in Texas, you guys, it's insane. And Rooster Teeth, I actually got to do some Rooster Teeth.
Oh, wow.
And Nomad of Nowhere, if you guys have seen it. It's pretty cool.
The one by Texas is the hub for that.
I have no idea. I'm pretty sure ADV started it back in the day. They, at the time, were the biggest anime distributor at all at the time. And now, there's Funimation, and Funimation at that time, I think, had Dragon Ball Z and just a couple titles back then. And back when you recorded with them back then, it was a piece of paper. Literally, the lines were written on a piece of paper, and you had a pencil.
Wow.
And it was just earphones, and you were standing on, bedding. Like somebody's kid's bedding that they didn't want anymore, you know what I mean? Like, you'd get a new kind every time, like, oh, Hello Kitty, hi. Or whatever, but the soundproofing was bedding. It was pencils and paper. And it was an old tape. You had to actually, rewind the tape and then put it back in.
Perfect, went digital.
Yeah, and that's way before it did now. Now you got 2 screens, you can watch while you're reading and they scroll for you. It's all fancy now. It used to be, here you go.
I bet they're a lot more strict too as far as messing up tape tape and things like that. Of course, because tape is more expensive, you know, it's a physical thing, there's a finite amount of it, rather than digital where you can just do it over and over again and easily just erase.
Yeah, and that's why there weren't many corrections. If something was wrong, like at the very beginning of an old dub, like you said the name wrong, it would be wrong the whole time. You're like, we're not gonna go back and do that again.
Oh, really?
So like, yeah, that's why a lot of the times things like that would happen is because you'd already have, 6 people recorded saying their name wrong, you know, and you find out that far in, nothing you can do.
It's the Ed Wood school of filmmaking. It's like, that's good, cut, next scene.
But now they're very particular. And I mean, in Monster Hunter stories, we changed the names of the characters like midway in the series. We'd already named them, like Leoleus was my Monstie, and then we changed him to Ropolos like mid-season. So like, oops, those are the wrong names, my bad. I just went back and recorded them.
Wow.
Nobody noticed. That's the weird part. No one knew.
Well, they did, or maybe just you weren't on the right news group, or you know.
No, because I think it's a children's show, and it's, you know, so like kids, I don't think they care. They're just like, monsters, rah!
Mm-hmm.
You know, Kool-Aid. Actually.
So I think it was 2009 in Save Me Lollipop, right? And that was your first like really lead role. What did you do like basically after that? Some like big like notable things that you know.
I
really...
think my biggest character that I got first at Funimation would be Blackstar. Was like the one that was a bigger character, and that was one of the first. That's the first time I ever voiced a boy character ever. And honestly, we thought that was a joke. Like, whenever I got the sides in Houston and I'm recording them in my friend's closet, because that's what I used to do, and he would hit record and I'd be in his closet and his cats would be outside. Yeah, and he was like, hey, they touched a boy. And I was like, well, why? He's like, I don't know. Do it. I'm like, okay. And I was joking. I was just kind of joking. I was like, I made this, like, to me, the most ridiculous voice I could possibly think of. And I was like half making fun of like my little brother, who isn't really little, but I remember he's only like a year and a half younger than me, but when my friends would call, like when I was in high school, he'd like try to make his voice all deep. You know, hello. So I kind of took a little bit of that, you know, and just made it scratchy and just did the goofiest thing I could come up with. I didn't actually think, you know, so then when I was driving up to record it, I was like worried. I was like, oh God, what did I do? I don't know if I can do this, guys. I don't know. And I used to record like 8 hours. So I would like drive up 4.5, record 8, drive back 4.5. But you can't do that with that voice. And I found that out. The first time I went to record, 4 hours in, I was tasting blood.
Oh.
Yeah. And they were like, yeah, we should stop. You sound like your voice went through a blender with like plates and like, you know, forks. It was bad. But I found out that I can do the boy voice and I must do it only 4 hours at a time. So, and then from that boy voice, I got to come up with other boy voices now that, you know, like, that are very different. Like Eddie from Angels of Death is very different from Blackstar. And stuff like that. So that kind of opened up a whole new
Sure. Yeah. All kinds of new roles and things like that. And it had been exciting too whenever Blackstar got on Adult Swim as well, because of course now you have something that you've done, and it's not just people who, you know, buy or rent the videos, things like that. You just turn the TV and you can hear your voice as well. That had to be kind of fun.
I know, it's strange whenever you look at the Adult Swim lineup and you're like, I'm in so many of these. Like at one point, I feel like, because I was Migi and Parasite, and I was in a Comic Dot Kill, and then I was just watching like all of it, and now it's like My Hero and Attack on Titan, and then like it's just like, take over! Tsunami, take over! It's fun. It's pretty fun actually.
Yeah, no doubt. It's funny because you said you never knew anything about anime or anything, but you just rattle off the Japanese names so effortlessly, and as I'm trying to say the word effortlessly.
I say, you know, you find out, well, I think that's just, some names are harder to say. If there's an R at the beginning of the name, I have so much trouble with it because the way that the Japanese roll their R's is very different than the way maybe somebody who speaks Spanish rolls their R's. And I'm from Texas, so like when I roll my R, I'm like, arr, you know what I mean? And that's not how you do it. It's supposed to be like a single tap. So, rimuru, and that is so hard for me. It was the most difficult thing ever, is trying to roll an R at the beginning of a word. But if it's like Tsukimiya or something like that, super easy. I can do those.
Yeah.
It's just great. So.
Were there any particular names that you just like had to just say over and over and over again, like about 100 times before you finally got it for a take? Like.
You know what's funny? If they're really difficult, I seem to be fine. It's because I like trip myself out. It's the ones that are easy that you're just like, why can't I not say probably today? I'm just like, probably. Guys, I think my best outtakes would be when I was recording Senran Kagura, and I was very hungry, I guess, because I just kept saying food instead of what I was supposed to be recording. So like the line would be like, oh yeah, right, and I'd be like, rice. I'm like, oh, did you just say rice? I'm like, I think I did. And then I said, and I mean biscuits. And they saved that. They still have that somewhere in a bank. Yeah, and also they had me burping that they would replace with beeps because that was fun for them.
Oh.
I didn't mind. It was gross.
That's the fun thing about voiceover. Some of the sounds your body makes, like a gurgle or something like that, it gets caught on the mic and you're like, did that catch? And you hear it back and you're like, oh yeah, it got it.
When I auditioned for Wendy, my cat was meowing the whole time in the background. So loud.
Oh.
And like Tyler was like, that was your cat? Was that your cat? Like, yeah, whatever, you can still hear it. Like, she won't be quiet. She really likes it when I yell or something. I don't know, like she love bites me if I sing or yell or get loud. So I'm in my closet, Sky Dragon roaring for the audition, and she's just like trying to get in. She just wants to bite me. Like, I don't know why. But yeah, she was totally in the background of the audition.
That's cool.
Yeah, closet auditions. Classic.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So 2012, you joined Fairy Tale.
Yes, and I got in on that Fairy Tale game, playing Wendy.
Yeah.
Very exciting. I was like, wait, I'm supposed to be like young and cute and actually sweet, not like tricky sweet, where you find out later, like Reefel and Claymore, that they're not sweet.
Oh my god.
I do a lot of those creepers. But yeah, it was cool to actually play like someone who was genuinely sweet.
Yeah.
And
The
she's
queen
stuck
character,
with-
right?
Yeah, I think she's supposed to be even younger than that, but she never, because of the Evelyn arc, she's like 7 years older, which makes it really weird and awkward. But
Gotcha.
I don't know, they trip me out sometimes. Now Carla's hot. I
They're
don't
all-
know how I feel about the cat being a hot person now. I don't know. It's weird. Sorry if I just spoiled that for you, because I just realized I probably spoiled it for you. Oh, boo, Brittney.
Aw.
Spoilers.
So you're doing video game stuff as well.
Yes, we do all the things. I also do like industrial stuff for like, I do this weird British voiceover. These people I think I am British, which is very strange. So because I never talk to them, they only come in while I'm recording. And it's like, vector for power. It's like one of those things. And like, I never talk to them, so I think they think I'm British.
Oh wow.
And that's great. I feel like if I'm gonna see them, I'm just gonna keep doing it. I'll be like, hey, thank you, cheerio. Like, it'd just be fun. Just kidding.
So when they cast you for that, they had no idea that you were not British?
No, I still don't think that they know.
Wow.
Because we don't talk. It's just like go in there and
Yeah.
I already talked to all the people that pay the money things, and then I go in and I'm just in a sound booth and there's nothing. It's just like, okay, play, and you just go. But I also do like a bunch of stuff for BP oil and really boring industrial stuff, where, like, e-learning videos.
Oh,
You
yeah.
just go in and say things. Hotel. Hotel. That's it. Yeah. A lot of the stuff that I do is exactly like that. Or like, I used to do industrial videos. I did one time for McDonald's that was like talking about how you flip the patties, and the bread. Yeah. And you flip it like this. Yeah. So, as an actor, you kind of have to like spread yourself thin. Voice acting it is only now become a thing you can do exclusively. But before, it was just another outlet of acting. That makes any sense? It's just, you kind of had to do it all or you're not gonna be able to live, so.
Right. Absolutely.
But now it's become a much bigger thing than it was. It used to be like, when you told people that you did dubs, they'd be like, oh, it's like the gum on the bottom of the shoe of the industry, huh? Let me just, but now it's like actually accepted and people like it. And I feel like dubs have made it to where anime reaches a bigger audience now, And so, like, because kids that can't read can love anime now, and, people that maybe like to hear stuff in their native language or whatever, like, you have that option. I feel like that is one of the reasons why we have these cons now. We have, like, so much, like, camaraderie when it comes to this stuff. Because Comic-Cons weren't a thing back then. There wasn't even Comic-Cons. There was just there was no such thing. And I'm pretty sure that started with anime cons. And then it moved out. So now you've got this thing where you can go and meet free Tim Curry, you know what I mean? Like, what? What? So.
Yeah, there were a few conventions back in the day, but they were much farther, and usually on either the East Coast or the West Coast, in California or New York or something like that. But as far as like, the cities kind of more in the center of the United States, then, there was never that opportunity to meet celebrities.
Never know.
And
it's one of those things too, it's kind of hard to explain to your grandpa what you do. Because he just, like my grandpa was in World War II in Japan. Like he's like, you mean you do what? Like he thinks it's all porn, but it's not. I'm like, no, look at this is a children's show. It's cute, there's dragons and monsters. Nothing bad, okay? Just believe me. Don't ever look it up.
how do you spell Google?
Yeah. Grandpa, you're not allowed to see Poppy the Happy Heartbeat do anything. At all. No.
What's your favorite thing you've done video game-wise so far?
I really enjoy Oculus Beat because Penguin was really fun. He's a cutie.
Yeah.
And it was funny, they had a stunt burper that had come in and done all my burps because he burps. And I was like, nobody's stunt burping for me. And I burped every burp. I was really proud. I got the hiccups twice. Good. What?
Dedication.
Yeah. I was like, what? I can belch?
Stunt burper.
Yeah. Because apparently they thought that if you're female, you can't burp.
I was just gonna say, was it some dude, in the back? It's like,
I'm pretty sure that Todd Habercorn did my stunt burping. No, it wasn't. Someone in LA did my stunt burping. Oh, it was Chris Patton.
Oh.
It was Chris Patton.
Really?
Yes, and he told me, he was like, I got to burp for you. I was like, no, you didn't. Oh. I got to burp for myself. I was all impressed with myself. They were disgusted. But then it worked out. They were like, oh, wow, oh, God, that's junky.
Let's get the stunt burper back in.
Yeah.
That's nasty. That's more polite.
I think there's like a little video somewhere of my uncle having me in a high chair teaching me to burp when I was like not even talking. Just like, no, you gotta support it.
It was your destiny.
Yeah, it had to be. Great.
So you've done some live action work as well?
I have done some live action work. I haven't done anything since I had my daughter. Let's see. I am in a few movies, in the Starving Games. I got to do Puncture with Chris Evans, which was pretty cool.
Oh, wow.
I accidentally insulted him, like the second I met him, which was...
You gotta tell the story.
It was good. No, it's not even that good of a story. I sat next to him and I was just trying to be quiet and keep to myself, and he was all like, he's just a really nice person for no reason. Like, I'm a nobody, and so I just figured he would be like almost every other actor that's big on a set and just be rude. And he was not. I was bending down on like carpet like this, and he went and got me a knee pad because nobody was gonna do it.
Oh.
And that's how nice he is. And like he brought me water, cause they're banning him, and I'm just like here like melting. And and he's like, you need water, and he asked for water for himself so that he can give it to me. He's a nice guy.
Oh, that's very cool. What year was that?
This is right. He had accepted his role as Captain America at this time, but it had not been.
So he hasn't.
I think it was.
Didn't quite blow up yet.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. It's before I broke my neck, so it's probably like 2011 or 12, maybe. But yeah, I did. I got to do that movie with him. I sat down next to him and I was like, I really liked your work in Scary Movie, and he was like, not another teen movie.
Oh.
I was like, ooh yeah. I didn't see it. I'm sorry. I was just trying to guess something. I don't even watch TV. And he was really cool. He thought that was pretty neat. Actually, he's like, wow, you're like a recluse. This is strange. Yeah, I was like, I don't watch TV. But yeah, so that was, and I got to meet his dog. He's got a big old dog that like sits up like a human. His name is West. He was cool. Yeah.
That's cool. You said you broke your neck?
I did. I broke my neck in 2013. I fractured my C2.
Oh my gosh, what happened?
I'm okay. We're good.
Yeah.
I got in a car accident on the way back from a Friday Night Lights audition. And if you have ever been to that area of Texas, it is a 2-lane road with no shoulder, and there's ditches on both sides. Or sorry, 4-lane road. Take that back. 2 lanes on each side. There's like no median in the middle. So I was stupidly trying to go faster than this 18-wheeler that wasn't gonna let me pass. And he was probably going like 80, so who knows how fast I was going. And I hydroplaned into oncoming traffic, and I got T-boned and flipped multiple times. I passed out at this point, but the people who saw it said that I flipped 4 times. I don't know. I was upside down and I woke up, and everybody thought I was dead. You could hear the people on the phone being like, I think the person's dead. I don't think nobody's making noises. And there are these poor kids that I hit, and they were so sweet, and they're all worried about me, and I hit them. Oh, I felt so bad. And this lady sticks her little hand in. There's like this much space. So I take off my seatbelt, and I'm sitting on the roof of the car because it was upside down and collapsed. And there's like this much space in the window that's like has hit into the ground, right? So like the car's gone underneath it. And there's that much space. The lady sticks her little hand in and holds my hand, and I was like, oh, that's so sweet. And she starts reading me my last rites.
Oh, no!
I feel so bad because I was like, shut up! Just shut up! I'm not dead! I was so mean to her. She was so nice.
Oh.
No, she's really sweet.
It's okay, go to the light, go to the light.
Yeah, she's just like, as we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, and I'm just like, shut up! Like, that was the only time I made noise then. Then I decided I wanted to make noise. The whole time, like, is anybody alive? Nothing. But yeah, and then I was like, ow, my neck hurts. And that was it. Put me on a stretcher, and yeah, I fractured my C2. So the car, when it flipped, it got so small in there that my head got pushed into my neck, and I got a pressure fracture from like bobbleheading it, pretty much, right? The roof went into, so I broke.
Did you use as leverage to try to get that role on Friday Night Lights?
It was during Black Star, and Funimation is such an amazing, stellar company that they waited for me to record the rest of it. I was literally.
Wow, really?
That was really cool.
That was very
Because they
nice.
didn't have to, they could have replaced me.
Sure.
So I will say that was really, really awesome of them. And, I was supposed to have a halo, but I didn't want the scars. Next time, if it ever happened again, I would decide to get the halo, because now I can't turn to the left. But I don't have scars. But yeah, that's that story. I'm okay now. I just don't turn to the left. I'm really bad at secrets. Really bad.
I thought you just
Like
didn't look
somebody's
at
like,
me.
oh my god, that person has toilet paper coming out of the back of their pants, look, and I'm like, what? And I turn my whole body, like, you know, like, I'm horrible at secrets. And then people get behind me, I'm like, I can't.
That's okay. Batman's the same way. It's kind of cool when you do that.
Yeah, it's just limited movement, that's all. So, yes.
Wow.
Now I know more about necks than I ever thought I would.
That.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just made it awkward and like depressing
No,
here. I don't mean to.
I asked. I thought it was fascinating.
I think everything goes on pizza, you guys. And I mean everything. A pineapple on pizza, yes. Anchovies, yes. Put it in the pizza. I like taco pizza. There's nothing taco about taco pizza, just so you know. It's like sausage and lettuce and like cruddy McDonald's taco sauce. And I love it. It's so good.
Now that we have the pizza part of our show done,
Put it in the pizza.
we'll go ahead and open up the floor to questions. So if you have any questions for Brittney, just go ahead and raise your hand. Just a little caveat here. Please, questions, no requests. 1 question per person. We'll go ahead and start.
And
Raise your
PG,
hand.
which I know I'm like not that PG, but just try. I'm trying very hard. Is that cool?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey.
Well, first off, I just want to say I'm glad that you survived that and got back and you were allowed to keep working.
Me too, man. I'm glad I'm alive.
Would not have been the same without your presence there.
Aw, thank you.
Second question then. I will try to keep this PG, but I was curious. What would you say is the most frightening or disturbing work you've ever been active in?
Gotta be Poppy. Poppy the Happy Heartbeat topped all the cakes. Like, I've done things that are really bad. Ingrid and Freezing, for example, if you guys have seen that. I'm just gonna say names, nobody, I promise I won't say anything bad. But that one, the egg laying is weird, and the eating of the egg was very disturbing for me. That was gross. Yep, now everybody wants to know. Good luck, y'all. I'll be so disturbed next time you see me. She's terrifying. She is half bird person. That's scary. I'm sorry, that's scary. She has talons. Oh, get away from me.
A character like that on Kids in the Hall. That's the bird lady.
Yeah, no bird ladies. No, that's terrifying. I'm really afraid of the pterodactyls at the museum. They're the scariest dinosaur. Have you seen their like beaks? They could impale like 30 people at once, just like. Sorry.
If people were around back then. Oh, because the P is silent, but
Ah, that's pretty funny. That's a good pun. I'm not very punny.
any other questions?
No?
No?
Okay, stuffed crust, that's legit. Stuffed crust is super legit, y'all. I also like olives. I feel like you put olives on any pizza. I'm not kidding, I'm gonna pizza you guys.
I think we know what you're having for dinner tonight.
Olives, yes!
Yeah.
I know I already had pizza for lunch. I have no
Olives
shame.
are just a great snack.
Yeah. Pizza in this outfit is not great though, because I got heartburn. It's not going down. It's just staying there. Sorry. So.
What do you have coming up?
Has anyone seen that time I got reincarnated as a slime? I'm the slime. He's a powerful slime. He's the opposite of a slime in every other game you played. And he's also very funny. And I got to record Come At Me Bra in an anime, so like my whole career is made now. That's it. Also, we snuck in a my guy. I'm sorry. It's like, sup, my guy. Okay, I'm so happy about that. Like, it's just for me. There's no reason that that's in there. It's for me. But yeah, I feel like my whole career was made at the point of being able to be like, come at me, bro. It's like, yes. And he does it in this like low voice. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm very excited about that one. We've got the new fairy tale. We are doing the new index with Makoto Misaka, and that we're going to also have a Railgun series coming up and an Accelerator spin-off series that's going to have Last Order. We just started doing some more Senran Kagura. Katsuragi isn't in it as often as I'd like, but she's still there. What else? I am in Release the Spice, which is coming out very soon. I'm in another one I can't talk about. We just got done doing Toda Konoe and UQ Holder, which is a spin-off of Negima. It is not fan servicey, but it is gory. So, just, it's got blood.
Kind of a horror thing.
No curse words, no nudity or anything like that, but it's got gore. So, just so you know, it's a very good show. It's like if Negima's grandson, great-great-great-great-great-grandson, and it's their world. It's got vampires. It's pretty neat.
Nice.
And then we just got done doing Review Starlight, if anybody saw that. Yeah, that's a good one. I liked it. That was nostalgic for me because I used to do theater and like perform on a stage, so that was really fun. And I'm missing one though. Made in Abyss, Nanaji. Yeah, so if you guys have seen that, I am Nanaji Made in Abyss. Nah. That's what he does. And he makes awful food, which looks disgusting. I don't want to eat it. But yeah, that one is also gory, but no fan servicey and no curse words. So.
How do you have time for all of that? I mean, there's just so many different things. Is there like certain seasons for the recordings, or are you
Well,
just
there's simuldubs.
constantly-
All of those are simuldubs except for UQ Holder and then another couple that I'm working on. But most of those are simuldubs, so they're broken up in episodes by week.
Okay.
So I go up Monday. I work at Funimation on Monday. So when I'm not talking on Sunday, you'll know why. But yeah, just fit them in. I think I'm currently working on and we just did Dragon Ball Super. I'm Kusu in Dragon Ball Super.
Oh, cool.
I did I'm Melinda, Nomad of Nowhere, which is a Rooster Teeth production. And then what else? I'm missing things somewhere. Oh, that video game. What is the name of that? No, I can't. I'm sorry. I can't remember. I will remember it the second I later. I'll be like, oops. But yeah, I usually do a few at a time. So right now we're doing a lot of slime.
Yeah.
Slime time. I know, I'm so proud. I get so proud of him. We keep adding in all these references.
Every 90s kid's dream was to be a slime. You get to be a slime.
I know! And he's a powerful slime too. I'm not that slime, tee. It's fun. It's fun. You guys should check it out.
Does anyone else have any other questions? Yeah, over here.
Hi. From your perspective, when do you think anime dubbing really took off?
I am thinking first. Well, okay. I feel like DBZ has always been a legit thing, but at the time when it first took off, it was like considered its own thing, right? When nobody like realized that was like a whole genre of stuff. But I think the point of the genre taking off was probably Fullmetal Alchemist. Back in the day, that was one of those titles that reached everyone, and it reached people that weren't necessarily fans of anime. Like you didn't have to. Like it wasn't. A lot of the shows you have to be like Bloom Into You, which I'm doing right now. That's like more for like an anime fan, right? But then there were shows like that kind of reached everyone. Fullmetal Alchemist, Soul Eater, DBZ, Angel Beats. I find really reaches a lot of people that even aren't into anime. We got HK Yamada's first time. If you are 18 and up, is hilarious, and people who my friends that don't watch anime, they can watch that because it's funny, you know. So I feel like that was probably about the time. So I think about 2004 is when it started hitting big. And then, now we made it. There's anime and the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. I mean, that's it. Anime's here.
Yeah, seeing that Goku balloon blew my mind.
It made me so. By the way, it looked good. Did you guys see it?
Yeah.
It looked good. I didn't even expect it to be that good. It's like better than all the rest of the balloons. I mean, it was sad. The other balloons were just like, oh, it's pitiful. Like, I don't know. I like the dragon, but.
Yeah, that really surprised me when I saw that. I was like, and I thought the same thing too. It's like, wow, anime is really, you can't get more mainstream than the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. When you have Goku and Charlie Brown,
Toonami is like all anime now. It's like, the block is like 90%. It's right now, it's like DBZ, DBZ Super, Attack on Titan, My Hero Academia. I know I'm missing other ones. Black Clover. They're dominating the block. Pop Team Epic was on there. That was fun to be part of, which it made no sense. But everybody's like, "What's your favorite part?" I'm like, "I can't. It's insane." Yeah, how do you pick a favorite part? More sugar. Who is El Shaquillano? I don't know.
We have a question. There was yeah.
What do you have any notable stories or experiences from your recording with Leviathan, the Zetai Leviathan defense?
Leviathan,
Yeah,
man.
I love that one. That was good.
Oh, I thought that was really cool, actually. I liked all the costumes. Thanks, guys.
Thank you for coming.
Bye. That's the Wicks family. They're pretty cool. Gosh, it's weird because I feel like I spent the whole time that I was recording that just really admiring their costumes. And nobody cosplays as them, right? I want to see the Snake Girl.
So cool. They're all awesome.
Yeah, I want to see the Snake Girl. Like, please, somebody do it. I'll pay you money. Like $2. I'm just kidding. But yeah, that's all I can, for some reason, I feel like that's what I spent most of the time doing.
It's like all the shows got going, really.
Whenever I was doing, what are those when you, commentaries, they had to ask me to stop talking about the costumes, because that's all I do. I'm just like, oh my god, I love this act. I couldn't help it. And they're like, hey, can you giggle less? I'm like, no, that's how it comes.
Giggle more.
But there's only that. I only know what giggle.
Any other questions?
Am I allowed to ask more than one?
No, go for it.
Please. Any questions?
You can't make me shut up in case you have no.
I do not want you to shut up.
You had some great questions in the previous panel, so.
Oh, yeah, you were there too, sorry.
They told me not to shut up.
Exactly, that's why I'm trying to get to it. Now, I can't remember if I heard this or not, I think that I did. Were you also in a production of Rocky Horror Picture Show?
Yes.
And wasn't that how you got noticed in this industry?
Yes.
Okay.
Rocky Horror Show, and I was Janet.
I'm sure you were great.
Oh, thanks. I wish I could get all those costume pieces. Those were fun. But now, at the time, the anime was nothing. Now we could have auctioned off some of those pieces. Those are legit. Those are cool, man. Man, we had the bra, and I had the lipstick kisses from all the voice actors because there's that scene with the sheet. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Now there's no kids in the room, so I didn't do that. There were chillins, and I'm like, ooh, let's not talk about romance.
And I don't think you were here earlier, I don't think you heard, because we talked about this earlier when she was at Rocky Horror. The rest of the cast were also people from ADB.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes. Monica Riel was Eddie Dr. Scott. She told me the funniest thing the other day. She's like, gosh, it's so nostalgic for you guys, but I was like, y'all are looking all sexy in your outfits, you know, when like right before the very, if you've ever seen the show, the very end, and they all get into their like sexy outfits or whatever for the last song.
Don't dream it, be it.
Yeah, don't dream it, be it. And she's like, I just had to go get on my shorts. And my, you know what I mean? She's like, let me go put on my man outfit. I was like, oh, and looking Monica, I never thought about it that way. I was looking at hot fishnets. And you're like, let me go put on my pants. Oh, I ship Monica.
She's good.
I do. I ship her.
Are there any stage roles that were like, man, I wish I could have played that, or do you kind of have a yearning to do theater again?
Oh yeah, I miss theater. I do. It didn't pay well, but I missed it. Let's see. I mean, I would do Janet. I feel like I'd do anything. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
but I don't know if there's any like musicals or even straight plays, you know, like that dream role, something that's like, oh man, if someone told me there was a production of this and I could do this.
Gosh, that'd be cool to make some animes and musicals. I just don't know how you do it.
Yeah.
But God, the costumes would be cool, right?
Oh, wow.
I mean, I mean, people do some really good stuff. Like, how would you make Full Metal Alchemist into an anime? Like, how could you? It'd be awful, right? It'd be horrible. It'd be a horrible anime. Can you imagine Alphonse singing in a metal suit? I don't know, actually. I can't watch it. What?
Lots of reverb.
Yes,
Yeah, you know when we
lots of
recorded that, I got to voice Alphonse in the OVA of Full Metal Alchemist because at that point he was too old and didn't sound like a kid anymore. And we recorded it with a backwards metal bowl. And so the metal bowl would face this way, and I would record to the back of the metal bowl, and the reverberation is what made that sound.
Oh, wow.
So they actually used a metal bowl to record that character
That's funny.
with a clamp. You know, weird.
Wow, that's really interesting.
It made that sound of the.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen the voice actor James Arnold Taylor do some live recording and stuff, and he uses a metal cup sometimes too. So sometimes you can use those kinds of tools to.
Yeah, little tricks.
Yeah, it's not even like in the digital, it's a physical, like an old school radio trick.
Sometimes the tricks in the booth aren't nice. Want to know the worst trick anybody ever played on me in the booth?
Oh yeah.
There was this nefarious jar sitting in the corner while I recorded Shin Chan. And it was there every day. It was always there. It had a sheet on it. Just like a piece of paper over a mason jar. And I was curious. So I walked over, and there was a huge fart in there.
Oh!
I tried to like run, and they blocked the door. I was like, let me out. And I don't know if somebody refreshed it, but
You didn't do that. I didn't realize that.
yeah, we were talking about this. Yeah, I'm sorry guys, I didn't mean to be gross, but it wasn't mine.
Did you ever find out the fart turd?
No, I don't want to know because I smelled too much of it. I can't ever get that out of my head. I don't want to know what it was. That was the worst joke ever pulled on me. Weird things I found in the booth. Toenail clippings.
Oh.
I found those twice. Yeah, gross, right?
What's that?
And it's not just like somebody's nervous and bites off a nail, it's like toenail. There's like a whole set. It's disgusting.
That's nasty.
Right? Some people are just yucky. I'm sorry, I'm being gross now. Anybody have a question?
Any other questions? Cool.
I can keep going.
We'll take one more.
Okay, then I'll shut up.
No worries. But just make sure anyone else have any other questions. Nope. Okay. You got it, Cole.
This was something I was curious about. Was there ever a role that, like, as soon as you heard about it, or maybe when you learned a little bit more about it, like, just jumped out and you thought, yeah, this is mine. This is what I'm supposed to do. Was there ever a role that just really spoke to you and you knew you had to do it?
Probably Migi in Parasite the Maxim.
There we go.
And when I had done that, I had never made a voice like that before, and now I've done a few characters that are kind of in that realm, slime,
Yeah.
Nanachi, creature realm, but at the time that was new. And I was like, and they had done a lot of auditions, and I actually went in to record a different part. And they were like, yeah, you know, why not? Just audition for this. And I booked it right there. But yeah, I thought that I could do that voice. For the Japanese. Shinichi, that's cold. But yeah.
Excellent. All right. Oh, do you have a question? Yeah, go for it.
Growing up, you obviously never thought that, hey, I'm going to voice cartoons or What did you want to do?
I wanted to act. Not in movies, but I wanted to be like a famous musical theater person.
Broadway.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. But, you know, I fell into this and got passionate about it, and now I wouldn't do anything else. I think it all worked out the way it should have. But yeah, I wanted to do musical theater originally. That was my passion. I like singing for no reason. That's good. It's good stuff.
I hear there's a great karaoke place nearby. Some of the comic book artists went there last night. Yeah, I know, right? Because I love karaoke too, and I'm like, oh man.
I love bad karaoke. I hate when people go up there and they're good singers. It's like, that's not fair. That's not fair. That's not what this is. This is people sounding bad. This is what I want to hear. I want to hear somebody be awful.
Yeah, but you're a good singer, then you go up there.
I just go up there. I just chill. Nah, I think that's rude. Going up, you're just like, oh, I mean, I just sing in my spare time. And then you sound like an opera singer. And it's just like, oh yeah, I'm sure you just do that in your spare time. You're just that amazing. Like, oh, you know, I just do like a couple covers. I might have like millions of followers on YouTube, but you know. Right? I'm sorry, I just think it's so show-offy. It's so, right? I don't know. I'm such a hater. Don't go up there and sound good. I hate you. I'm just kidding. No, I feel like karaoke is supposed to be that. That's the point of karaoke. Like, I'll go up there and I'll sing Sublime and I'll just sing the same verse over and over again just to be annoying.
Oh.
Yeah?
You're that girl,
me.
huh?
Yeah. I'll ruin that song for you. If you're into it. Or I'll sing something that's really inappropriate for my voice. Like Johnny Cash or something. Just yeah, those are fun.
Well, speaking of fun, this has been a really fun panel. Everyone, big round of applause.